Alright. Hello. How are you all today? Um, oh, excuse me for a second. Okay. So, how are you all today? I will be drawing some, maybe animating. Hello, Neo. Um, yeah, I know I'll be drawing for a little bit, but then I'll probably go animate something with the characters that I'm drawing. So, real quick, um, these were the original two characters that I drew, as they're supposed to be like Windmaster's, I guess, guardians or something. I don't know. I haven't exactly figured out what to call them. But she has a good side and a bad side. However, these two were the very first iterations, I guess, of them. Absolutely hated this one, and that one was like, it's not exactly what I wanted. So then I couldn't think of exactly what I wanted to fix for her, but I'm like, yeah, he needs to be fixed right away. So went ahead with color and made version 2 of this guy, which I still didn't really like. I was like, it's a little weird. Plus, I drew it weird with the textures. I don't know why I did that. We, Sibian. But, yeah, drew this. I mean, the horns were cool. I might reuse those in the future for something else, but not for this. Went a little bit overboard with the earrings. Ears were a little bit overboard. Why is it not? There we go. So ears look cool, I think. Horns look cool. Earrings were a bit overboard. Face, absolutely hate it. What is this? So I was like, yeah, I gotta do it again. But then in this last update, I have redone both of them to how I want them to be, and that is here. So, much better, but I haven't finished this one yet, so I'm still working on that, and that's what I'll be drawing today. But, hey, pretty good evolution there for his. I got rid of the little ear tufts, because he's not supposed to be that fluff. He shouldn't, I don't know, it was weird. Horns, I simplified a little bit, but still kind of kept that essence, I don't know. Wow, he has 2 eyes and they're not cringy, so there's that. Actually, I originally had this, which I thought also looked cool, but I was like, no, let's not do that. So I just gave him teeth instead. Kept a little bit of it though, just, I guess like if his jaw goes back so far, like the skin starts ripping, I don't know. Anyway, he's part dragon, mostly wolf, but also part dragon, and she is a wolf. I haven't decided if she's going to be part anything yet, but I think she's just going to be a wolf for now. But he's part dragon, because why not? It doesn't matter what species they are as long as they have some wolf in them. Otherwise, what they look like doesn't really have anything to do with Windmaster's story, but they're fun to draw. So, yeah, I figured I'd do that. Anyways, yeah, so I'm gonna work on this gal. By the way, neither of these have names either. They're just kind of the nameless guardians of Windmaster. I don't know. So, yeah. I did a lot of this yesterday. I mean, those were months ago. But, I did this one yesterday, I think. And I know I did this yesterday is, no, maybe that was this morning. I don't remember. But, yeah. So, guess I can start doing this now. Instead of actually using an eraser tool, I just like to go through with this thing and select everything and then just delete it all at once. So if I'm ever doing this kind of thing in a speed paint and you see it just kind of not doing anything and going around like this, I'm probably highlighting everything just to erase it later, but I don't know. I don't know why I'm being so precise about this, I just feel like it. So, yeah. Anyway, normally I have something to talk about, but I'm not quite sure what to talk about, so I don't know. I guess I could always just talk about what I'm doing, because that was the purpose of why I started streaming, is so that I could show people, talk about what I'm doing. But this is kind of uneventful. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I tend to procrastinate a lot with things, but it's really weird advice, but I've noticed the best way to not procrastinate is to just do it, which makes no sense in terms of advice, because that kind of goes against procrastination. You know, the whole point is, oh, I'll do it, I'll just do it later, but then you never end up doing it. And I'm not saying that you're procrastinating, I'm just saying, but, so, like, my mom, she wants to, like, write a book or something. She's like, I would, but I never have time to, and I'm like, well, look at me. You know, I'm doing school, I'm doing, you know, now that I'm almost done with middle school, I'm doing high school applications and stuff. I'm doing all this stuff, homework, you know, regular schoolwork, everything. And I've written stories. I've made books, given it was years ago, but you know, I've made, you know, miniature books and stories, and I have all my art that I do all the time. So, you know, actually, just before this stream started, I went to go do the dishes, because we've been having to do that. And I was like, oh, well, maybe I can just stream first, because I want to stream. And then my brain's like, no, don't do that, because if it gets late and you lose track of time, you're not going to do the dishes. And I'm like, true, very true. So then I just did them. I reasoned with myself and I did it. But most of the time, you know, if something's not absolutely necessary or has to be done in, you know, very soon, I try to not. I mean, if I typically do procrastinate a lot, so I do it a lot. I can't speak. But yeah, I procrastinate a lot, but I try not to when I can't, if that makes any sense whatsoever. But yeah. trying to give advice, but I don't quite know how to explain it. I don't know. It's weird advice, but that's the best way I can explain it is, just do it. Which is not good advice for a lot of things, but if you're passionate about something and you can't find the time, you gotta make the time. If you want to, nothing's gonna get done if you don't do anything about it. Which that goes for a lot of things. But just gotta work on stuff sometimes. And this isn't completely necessary, but I got most of my other stuff done that needs to be done. So it's just fun to do. If I wanted to, I could be only doing schoolwork and only studying and only doing stuff that is completely necessary. But then, if you're only doing work, then what's the point of it? If you're only doing work, where is that gonna get you? I mean, it'll get you somewhere at some point, but you're not. See, that's good. That's a good first step. But if you just do stuff, if you do work-related stuff all the time, then you don't find time for yourself, for fun stuff. Even if it's unnecessary, you still have to have time for yourself. So that's what I'm doing, time for myself. Except I choose to share it with you guys, because I think you enjoy it, maybe. I don't know. I mean, if you're watching this and you continue to watch it, you probably enjoy it. But, I don't know. So, yeah, I don't know. If you want something done, you just gotta do it. Which is very strange advice, but it's true. Nothing's gonna happen if you don't do something about it. But yeah, there's your little advice tidbit for the day. There may be more. But yeah. When I'm animating, I'll have a lot more to talk about. When it, artistically, I'll have a lot more to talk about because I'll be talking about my actual process. But when I'm drawing, you can kind of visually see everything. But in animation, there's a lot of extra tips and things that are going on in my head that I think about, stuff with physics and, is it going to look good? Is it going to look real? But when I'm drawing, it's just kind of whatever I want, and y'all can see what I'm doing. Yeah. And I appreciate that. It's still, I mean, even just a few people. It amazes me that people are interested. I mean, you're my friend, Neo. But, even just anyone, it amazes me sometimes to think about, especially on the internet. I don't know very many people. Like, I definitely don't know a lot of people through the internet because they would be strangers. So, it's interesting to think that somewhere, it could be anywhere in the world, and, I wouldn't even know it, but there's someone out there who cares to watch my stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's so nice of you. Thank you. Which is, kind of the main reason I decided I wanted a YouTube channel, is because, I wanted to I wanted to share my stuff with the world. I wanted to teach people, and I wanted to see if it would be interesting, mostly because, later in my life, I probably want to go more into, better animation. Like, I'm starting with what I have here, but I'll improve my art style and, might do some 3D work in the future, hopefully soon, if I find a place where I can use a good program. I want to use Blender. I hear Blender's really cool. But, which is, 3D animation or 3D modeling application website, I guess. So, yeah, but I want to grow my skills. I want to learn things, and eventually, maybe, hopefully, I can turn some of my stories and share my bigger stories with the world. Like, I can make movies or longer animations, short films, it has the word short in it, but it's longer than most of the animations I do. So I think that'd be fun. Want to keep growing. I want to make my name known, but it doesn't have to be that way. Even just like, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you have a computer. I don't have a computer. But yeah, but something simple. If I'm watching a animated movie with, my family one day, when I grow up and have kids, whatever, I think that'd be cool for, we're watching a movie and, point to the screen and be like, look, there's my name, rolling through the credits. I think that'd be cool. And maybe it won't happen one day, but if it does, I think that'd be pretty awesome. Just being a content creator in general, I think, is a very interesting thing. A lot of creativity that goes into this. And I love that it's a whole community, too. Yeah, but probably in the past year, or past 2 years maybe, I've learned more about my own art and my animation than I ever had before. Just because I sat down and I said, you know what, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make stuff for the world. And just see how it goes. And I've learned a lot more about, collecting audio and, just doing my animations. It's interesting. I tend to look at, I don't do too much frame by frame animation, but even with like tweening or whatever, I tend to try and use physics as often as I can, just to make things more realistic. So, if a character swings its head, it doesn't just go from one place to another. It kind of goes down first and around. You can see the weight in things, and I try and keep that weight when I'm animating, just to make it slightly more realistic. Plus it makes it flow better, if that makes sense. So, yeah. My dad just got home and I can hear my cat just meowing at him over and over. Hey there. Hello. Oh.
Hello, hello.
You want some stream?
Wait, still.
Streaming?
Oh, sorry.
You're fine. Working on. Did I show you? I drew her as well.
Yeah,
Lots of stuff.
very cool.
So yeah, lots of stuff. Giving some advice and animation tips a little bit.
Cool. What's your color palette?
Mostly white, but you know, a little bit of blue here and there. Kind of like his, but instead of the gray, it's white, and instead of the red, it's blue. I don't know.
Very cool.
I guess Guardians is a good term. I'm still trying to think of what to call them, but I guess Guardians is a good term. I'm selecting things right now, so I can.
Selecting what's outside of the border.
Yeah. But since it's like this, if I were to just, hit fill and the eraser and just fill it into erase, since the lines are weird, it could probably go through. So, almost done.
You gonna get rid of the white with this move?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna get rid of the white
Excess
outside
white,
line.
yeah.
On the lines.
Cool. Cool. I'll leave you to it.
Alright.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Ooh, I did my still life.
Oh,
It's in the closet in my portfolio, very front.
very cool.
If you want to look at that.
All away. Nice work.
Thank you.
Glasses looks fun.
The glass took forever. It took a lot longer, but it turned out nicely, I think. I did a for stream. I did a still life earlier today. That's what I was mostly working on today.
Nice work. Easy photos.
Yeah,
Photos. And the cat's in the closet.
that seems right. She likes it in there.
I'm just gonna leave this open a little bit for her.
Yeah, that's fine.
Funny.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. So, anyway, I mentioned earlier about applying to high school. I have to make a portfolio for this art academy thing, and they're like, make a still life. So I did a still life. It has in it an apple, a lime, and kind of mason jar glass thing, I guess. Oh, I keep on using the wrong one. But, yeah. So that's what I did today. I was drawing on paper. Wow. Which I don't do too often. But, yeah. Alright, so I think that's about it. Ready for the magic part? You ready? This is like my favorite part. After I do all this work, I can just do bam. And then it's pretty. Woo! I also have to clean up some liner. I didn't realize I did that somehow. Like I made these weird loopy things. So I don't need those. Whatever this is, I don't know what that was. And this piece inside the eye, I forgot. Sorry. Sniz. Just cleaning up the lines a little bit. I think that's about it. Get rid of those things. Yeah, that looks good. Oh wait, forgot some. And wait, didn't keep that? No, I didn't. That looks bad. Much better. Oof. Yeah, it's tough. So, another line that I forgot somewhere. Thank you. There it is. So, yeah. Oh, this eye looks weird now. Let me just take that and just smoosh. Yeah, that looks much better. So, let's see. Here, I could probably add a little bit here. Maybe out to here. No, let's just not do that. The eye. Alright, so now I'll go through, now that that's done, and put that here. So now that's part of this layer. I like to merge my layers, I don't know. And I'll get, fun fact, Windmaster's Blue is 200, 150 for the HSL adjustment. I didn't do that on purpose. When I first started adding Windmaster's Blue, I didn't draw it in here, I did it in Flip-A-Clip, and somehow I got it perfectly, because when I grabbed the color like this, I got it perfect on 200, and I'm like, that's insane. So that's a fun little tidbit of information. Let's see. So this is this is gonna be blue, 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 and then here, blue, blue, and blue like that, and up here too. Like this, kind of. Does that look good? Maybe not. Should I leave it white or make it blue? I mean, this is gonna be colored better, but you know, just thinking of ideas here. um, yeah, I guess that looks good. Alright, that concludes that brainstorm. So now I can lower this back and just do these normally. Well, yeah, I said those would be blue as well. This is going to be easier than coloring the whole thing. To just do the outline. By the way, it looks like eyelashes here, but that's just part of their eye. Same with his. It's just part of the eye now. As fluffy as they both are, they don't deserve eyelashes. I'm actually going to clean up this one a bit. Beautiful. So, here, let me take this real quick and finish this. I guess those loops can stay. There we go. Cleaned up more. Now I can go back to this. Oh, wrong color. Wrong layer. There we go. Actually, I'm going to make this a little bit messy on purpose so that I can fix it right. And do this. I have a song stuck in my head because I listened to it earlier. It's called Bird Song. It's basically about this bird who wouldn't shut up. That's about it. It's a bird. He wouldn't shut up. At some point, he gets put into a box. I don't remember what happens after that. It's like a whole story. I don't know. I don't need this. By the way, this isn't the exact blue because it's at 75% opacity on a white background. This is the exact blue, but it gets lighter as it disappears. So it's really like here rather than here. But that's how I want it to be. Yeah. I mean, it's a good song. The story doesn't really make sense. I don't know if it's a metaphor for something. I don't know. But yeah, I heard the song earlier, so now it's stuck in my head. I have a few songs stuck in my head actually, but that's the main one. Yeah. Oh yeah, by the way, anyone who saw it earlier, which I know that you did, Neo, so are the things that said premiering, did they leave? Are they gone now? Cuz I did something, I think it should have fixed it, but I'm not positive if it did or not. So are those still there or are they gone? Cuz if they're still there, I have no idea what to do and they're just going to be there forever. But if they're gone, then I know how to fix it in the future if that happens. So, oh, hello. So, Nia, are those still there? The premiere things? Yeah, that's another thing. For 8th grade, not only the dance, not only like the school dance, but also all the field trips. You know, my entire time at that school, I'd hear all the time about all the great field trips that the 8th graders did. We should have gone to the beach. I know the beach was one of them. I think like another water park thing. And I was like, huh? What? But then this year we can't, and now I'm sad. Because I've missed all the big things that I wanted to do. Oh, they're good? They're gone? No, that's good. I mean, what? It's good that they are gone. So that now if that happens again in the future, I'm still not positive on what caused it, but I'm pretty sure what I know what caused it. But yeah. So if those things are gone, then I know how to fix it in the future. So basically, if you don't remember, I was going to stream one day, and then I decided not to. I was gonna stream one day, decided not to. So then, I just kind of closed the app, but I already had set up the app as if I was going to stream. All I had to do was click like one more button and it would have started. But I didn't click that button, and I just closed the app, my Omelette Arcade thing I use for streaming. And it made those. I don't know why it made more than one. That was the weirdest part. But anyways, I couldn't see them on my channel. Yeah, I couldn't see them on my channel, so that was also very strange. I couldn't see them on my dad's phone. If I used my dad's phone and looked at them, I couldn't see them on my channel either. So I wasn't sure why it was appearing for some people and not for others. But I looked on my phone again, and I couldn't see them if I clicked on my channel, but if I looked up my channel name and all my videos would show up. It wouldn't exactly show up there, but it'd be kind of like that, I guess. Like, there's a little... Sometimes there's like a little, like, here, if I draw it real quick, this is gonna be weird. So, like, if this is my phone screen, I'm gonna do this in black. If this is my phone screen, if I look up Windmaster08 in there, then it shows my YouTube channel here, but then it shows, like, it shows all my videos down here. Like, this is on my phone. This wouldn't work on my iPad either. So it shows all my videos there, but right in between, it shows a whole bunch of my videos, but smaller. That you can scroll through them. And I saw the premiere things in some of these. I couldn't see them down here. I couldn't see them down there. I couldn't see them scrolling through there, and I couldn't see them if I clicked on my channel. But if I scrolled through this little thing, I could see them. And then I could go to the little information thing on the side and switch them to private so that they don't show up on my channel. They still exist somewhere. But if I go onto my YouTube studio, I can't see them there either. So once they're gone, they're gone. So that's good. I have no idea where they are. But, yeah. That's my best explanation for it. I don't know. Here, I'm actually gonna make a new layer. These. But, yeah. See? Not the same color. Is this... just since these are so big, instead of tracing all the way around, I can make it like this, and instead of doing the little time-consuming thing like with the selecting tool, I can just go through and erase that. I can just erase it like this, not like that, like this. This. It's a lot faster. By the way, this is just how I color all my sketchy things like this. If I don't feel like making line art for them, it takes a lot longer to color them. But, you know, I like it sometimes. I think I've said it before, but there's kind of like a Zen thing. I don't know, those Premiere things were very strange. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why they appeared in some places but not others. That was the weirdest part, I think. Other than the fact they existed in general. But yeah. Also, I don't know what you do when you premiere a stream. Like, do you just decide, oh, I'm just gonna stream later, and then just hit start later? Like, you have a schedule? I guess. I mean, I guess that makes sense. I don't know. It's just weird. I don't really know what it would mean to stream or premiere a stream otherwise, unless you have a schedule for something. This is probably really boring to watch. I'll do something interesting later, maybe. Or maybe this will just be a boring drawing stream, but you know, hey. It's better than nothing. I haven't uploaded in a while, so I don't know, I figured I'd work on something. Show you me. Show you me. What? Show you guys me working on something. I can't English right now. But yeah, my speech just decides to fail sometimes. And for whoever doesn't know me in real life, and you know, it isn't obvious, English is not a second language. I was born and have been speaking English my whole life, but still, my speech just decides to fail me sometimes. So, there, now that's done. By the way, in order to make these more interesting, I would play music, but I'm not going to, because then I can't control, um, you know, if I just hit shuffle play, I don't know if something's gonna get copyrighted or not. Normally, if I do an animation or have a song for a speed paint or something, I do a little bit of research on the song, so I know whether or not I'm gonna get, I know the copyright laws of it. Which, if you're doing YouTube or you're sharing something, it's always good to just check through things. You don't have to go super duper in depth for your research, but it's good to at least know. What? I just had to sit here and reread that comment for a second. When you're getting beat up by a dog and duck in a game as a literal child. Is this something that's happening to you currently? What? I mean, that is a mood. I'm gonna be honest. But, yeah, anyway. So, yeah, I would, shuffle play music, but then A, it may be too loud for you to actually hear me talking, or B, copyright. So, yeah. I don't do that. Plus, it's fun to talk sometimes, but then other times I'm like, is this too quiet? I know I talk quiet a lot, but since I'm closer. Oh yeah, in a video game. Since I'm closer to my iPad than I would normally be to like my Chromebook or something for school, I guess I'm louder on the streams than I would be in a Zoom meeting. Or maybe Zoom is just bad. Otherwise, if there's like a weird background scratch, I'm not using a professional microphone either. I'm just on my iPad. Oh. Okay. Zoom is bad. It's bad quality, like everything. Um, it's funny. First semester, I only had one class. No, two. I had 2 out of my 4 classes used Google Meet. Well, now that I say it out loud, it doesn't seem like such an interesting fact. But, in my first semester, 2 out of 3 classes used Zoom, and 2 out of 4. I can't speak. Use Zoom. Half my classes use Zoom. Half my classes used Google Meet. I had 4 classes, but now 3 of them use Google Meet, and only one of them uses Zoom. And the one that uses Zoom is my French class. Although sometimes Google Meet is more laggy than Zoom. So, I don't know. just real quick, because I can hear you. I can hear him, my dad, downstairs. I'm just gonna say hi because I can tell that you're watching my stream on the TV downstairs. If you want, you can just yell back hi or something. Alright, so that's done. But I want that to be the lighter blue, like here. I think. Should it be darker? No, I want it to be lighter. Anyways, I'm gonna put both of these at... Oh, that made a difference for this guy. I didn't realize that would be such a difference there. Anyways, I'm gonna take these, merge them, and then put them back to 30. There we go. Now I have the right colors. Okay, so that's about it for drawing, I guess. Well, you know, for drawing these characters, at least. It doesn't really work for her, but if I... Oh, wait, no, yeah, if I put this to white, then it works for all of them. Although she's already white. But, like, these... normally they're... You know, he is gray, but that's old version of him. I don't know, but normally he's gray, so when you do this, it's like the red becomes pink, and the gray is white, so he just looks albino. Indeed. Indeed he is. Sometimes, if I'm streaming and he's gone, Dad, then he's told me that he watches my streams, like, he's listening to them in the car. Not watching them, you know, he's driving, but, you know, I think that's kind of funny. By the way, extra tip. The reason that I had to make all of this white before I could make it, you know, blue, rather than just making it blue, is that since these are the same color blue, but the layers are on different opacities, so if it wasn't, you know, if I took away the white, then whatever color I changed the background to, you could see it. Ooh, that looks cool. That looks cool. I like that. Look at the blue. Oh, the blue looks awesome like that. Wow. Okay, I'm going off on a little tangent here. But, you know, like, you can see, like, if you just look at the blue color, it changes. It changes through whatever color I have the background on. That looks interesting. But, yeah, this black looks awesome with this blue, man. That looks really cool. I mean, even, you know, with this. But, like, if I take... Wait, wrong there. If I take this out, like, with the teeth and everything, this one looks cool. What if I take out the teeth? Oh, that still looks cool. With the, whatever this is. The squares. The squares in the background stay the same shape. I've noticed that. It's very interesting. I can make it down here. Look how big the squares are, and then how tiny. But they're the same size. Anyway, but I love this black look. This looks really cool with the blue. Except just for character design, this one does have to be gray. In this, or gray or black really, but it's easier to animate with gray. So you can, see the line art. But then this one has to be white, so. But it looks cool though. Maybe new character design. Although, the black and the blue is really common character design. But, whatever. Yeah. This is like, I use, default. No, that's not right. I use this, like, light pink anywhere from, like, here to here. I use it so that if I'm coloring in white, I can actually see what I'm doing. If I'm coloring in, like, black or dark gray, I can see what I'm doing. Rather than this, see, I can't... If I take away the coloring here, the line art still the line art's still there, but you can no longer see it. So for the sake of line art and any white coloring, I keep it at this pink, since almost none of my characters ever have that pink on their own. So it's just, I don't know. That looks cool. Whatever. But, yeah, so I can lock these back. And change that. There we go. So, this is pretty much done, I think. Hold on. I can do this. This might be a weird idea. This might make them look like bugs. I think it's gonna make them look like bugs. Yeah, no, they just look like bugs. Okay, so new layer. Red. Airbrush. And so now if I set this to black, they look cool. They look extra cool. Oh, that's weird. Oh, that looks so freaky. Ooh, if I take off the line art. Cool. Ignore that one. But like these two. Yes. Yes. Okay, so yeah. I'm gonna keep this and this on a separate layer in case I want to keep those for any reason. I probably don't. I mean, it looks pretty cool. It's an interesting idea, and it took forever to draw. But it's not gonna stay. This is how his character is. Not like this, but it looks cool. So I'll keep it there for future reference. Otherwise, and it's gonna be weird for a second. But I'm gonna select these. Luckily these are on one layer. this guy is gonna be a little bit more tough to move. I want to have these, I want to give these two a little bit more space around them. So, yeah. Put him like here maybe? Yeah, there, that works. Then I'm gonna move this. Oh, that is the wrong layer. This, I'm gonna move this. And try and line it up right. There we go. Excuse me. I'm going to, can I change this? Oh, I can now, okay. It looked weird before. I'm gonna get rid of this texture because I absolutely hate it. And it has been there for too long. So just for the sake of myself and my eyes and showing anyone this in the future, I'll be removing this texture. Now I can grab these. Is this the right layer? It is. Wow. I know I did this pretty well. It wasn't exactly perfect, but that works. Maybe a little higher. There, that works. And then the last one, last layer. Gotta move all this. I don't want to merge these layers together because I want to keep them separate so I can make different previews for things, I guess. There we go. He is officially moved now. Oh no, you're fine. Don't ever worry about being late to a stream. I mean, if you ever feel late, you can don't worry. You can always go back and watch it later. I don't delete these unless they were absolutely pointless or short. Normally, the only ones that I ever do delete are the Among Us streams if they're really, really short. But otherwise, these will always be back later, so you don't have to worry about missing them. This glow makes it much better, I think. This was just rating them. I don't know. Here, I can probably get rid of these. Doot. Doot. And doot. There. There we go. Yeah, so that about does it for this drawing. I can keep that there. Yeah, that about does it. So animation, maybe. I'll only animate for a little bit, then I gotta go soon. So lots of animation memes. I don't think, what have I done with this? Alright, that's about it. So I haven't added anything since the last time I streamed this. I don't know. I don't feel like working on this one. But this one, ooh. Well, maybe not right now. For the thing that I want to do, I want to get that picture of the gray guardian thing and use them as a reference, but in order to do that, I'd have to open up my camera roll, and that may show faces of people, so I'm not going to do that right now. So that's a bummer. Well, this one I could work on. I could probably finish this one because it's really quick. Oh right, I still have to work on all this stuff. Wait, so that's the line. I actually finished that. I didn't think I did. Alright, so that's basically done, but now I just gotta do these. Yeah, which are relatively simple. That frame's done. Yeah. This looks really bright on the black background here, but, you know, it's kind of supposed to be that way. Even though this is just normal white, really. Yeah. Right, so, yeah. So I guess I'll just finish up this animation, which I don't have too much left to do. And then, I'll probably end the stream. And if I really finish it, then I'll probably upload it. So, there is that. Nope. I don't have to be super precise with this, but you know, I'm just kind of generally doing this. But it's, you know, it's a more simple drawing. Plus it doesn't have color, it's just a white outline. So, claws. By the way, if my animations most of the time, if they have anything other than Windmaster, it's gonna be part of their backstory. Whatever character it is, it's gonna be part of their backstory probably, because that may be the only reason I want to animate them. But if it's Windmaster, it may have some like personality in it, but it's not going to be full-on backstory unless I deliberately go out and say, hey, this is part of her backstory. Otherwise, you know, they don't all have perfect meaning. I mean, a lot of them do have some sort of meaning, but you know, you don't have to look in. Oh, almost done. So all I have to do is draw the rest of this hand thing, then do this little animation, and then draw 2 more frames that I will, kinda like this, how it's the same. Wait. Interesting. Like this. See how it's like the same picture, but just drawn differently. So I'm going to be drawing the same picture like that, also sketchy like this, and just having the same thing twice like that. So I'll do two drawings, basically one more drawing like that, and then copy over these eyes here. These. I'll copy over. Oh, that's fine. Bye, Neo. See, I'll copy over these eyes, and then I'll just take the entire animation so far and duplicate it, and then I'll pretty much be done, unless I want to do the outro thing. So, really simple. I explained it weird, so it sounds like a lot more than it is, but I don't know. Maybe you understand. Let's see. There's those. There's that one. This looks very puffy. I'm gonna redo that last one. There, that's slightly better. Yep, it's pretty much gonna repeat a couple times. Do my eyes deceive me, or is this background light blue? I mean, a really dark blue instead of black. No, it's black. It looks weirdly like a really dark navy blue to me right now. I don't know why. Maybe it's just my screen. But it didn't look like that before, but now it does for some reason. It's probably just me. You know, it's probably the brightness of the white makes the black look lighter to me, but for some reason, because of my theme being blue, it makes it look blue. I don't know. Science is weird. But, yeah. So, just a little bit more, and then I'll finish up this animation, and then, hey, I'll have something to post. Wow. But, yeah. See, let's see, this is Unsuitable Reality. Oh yeah, by the way, this is Vincent. He's another OC that I have, who, I don't think he's on my YouTube channel yet. No, he's not. But, yeah, he's another one of my main OCs. I just haven't gotten around to animating him yet, because these are hard to animate, but, here's a little quick thing. It's a work in progress, but
Do you blame yourself?
that's it. And then this drawing of if you've seen the meme, it's like, hey, what do you want to eat? It's like the souls of the innocent. A bagel. No! 2 bagels. That's what this is gonna be, but
Hey bro, what do you want to see?
whatever this drawing is. That was before I figured out how to fix him. I made whatever this thing is, and that's wrong. So, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. What is this hand? It was weird. Mm. Mm. So, yes. Yeah, if I look at the video too, it looks black, but just looking at it by myself here, it looks weirdly blue for some reason. I don't know why. Here, if I turn off the white layers, see, now it looks black to me. So I guess it's just since the white is so bright, it makes it look lighter black for some reason. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, anyway, but Vincent, here, that'll be something to talk about. But Vincent here, that was the first drawing I did of him. That was a little bit later, and then this is even later, and then this is now. I've simplified him, or, as my style, whatever this, I don't know, legs, it's just like this. But, yeah, but I got better, and that's slightly better. It's still a little strange, but now I have my legs better. It's more like this, kind of. I don't know. It's just it's there's a lot of stuff to take into account, like balance and stuff. Anyway, but so Vincent, I can talk about him for a bit. That's the wrong animation. This one. Vincent's backstory is very interesting. He is here. So his backstory is very interesting. He is from a planet that we on Earth, which I wrote this down, we on Earth know as, we label it as number 2114-1114152314, which doesn't make much sense, but if you separate those numbers, so like the first one would be 21, then 14, then 11, 14, 15, 23, 14 again, and you take those numbers and assign the number to the letter in the alphabet, it spells out unknown, which isn't that climactic, but it's just, yeah, it's unknown but spelled in numbers because fancy. I couldn't think of a name. Anyways, yeah, so that's where Vincent's from. He's from a planet out in space, which means he technically is an alien, but he's also, resembles that of a velociraptor, kind of. I'm not sure. Oh, hi, Sunpaw. But yes, so Vincent is kind of like a velociraptor covered in knives, and his whole species is or was that way. But so basically he lives, and I'll explain all of this through pictures in another in another animation in the future. But I'll explain his backstory in more detail. But basically his planet, I'm just gonna call it unknown rather than the number that we Earthlings would know it by. So, planet unknown, Vincent's planet, is, way out there. I haven't thought of a place exactly, but there's 4 different kinds of his species, subspecies of his species, I guess. And there's basically nothing else on the land other than that civilization of creature itself. So there's nothing except for Vincent looking species, kind of like that. I don't know. But they all have their own... Oh. Well, that would make sense, too. I don't know. He's kind of like... He's just a velociraptor. A bipedal velociraptor covered in knives, basically. Yeah. Because the tail is... It's straight, but then there's always some sort of accessory on it. His is just a giant blade. But there's another, basically, there's 4 different elements that are represented in his world. So there's those who live underground, which is his type, and those are covered in knives for whatever reason. The ones that live on land, who represent nature, those in the sky, who represent air, who have kind of like feathers, and then those underwater who have fins. So there's the 4 different species. Of course, everything else changes. For underground, it's knives on the head. For land, they're kind of like flower petals, I guess. And for air, they're feathers but spaced apart. And for... Oh, yes, there is plant life. I guess I didn't think about diet now that I think about it now. Yeah, anyway, but yeah, the underwater ones also have their fins again on their head. Like that. So that would be underwater there. But, anyways, yeah. So that's basically the species. I guess there has to be other life, but it is kind of sparse. But there is plant life. However, only the land ones eat plants. I'm not sure. There has to be some sort of other ecosystem. I just haven't thought of it yet. So, yeah, I guess, yeah, you're right. There has to be something else. But, I don't know. But the underground ones are meat eaters. The ones on land are plant eaters. The ones in the sky, I guess are kind of both. Or none. I'm not sure. And then the ones underwater are also both. Guess. So there is... Well, yes, this is the world building that I'm explaining, but he has a backstory, but this is just where he lives that I'm telling you, so that the backstory makes more sense. But, yes. So, anyways, his kind are supposed to be very Vincent. I mean, his underground kind are very rough and tough. They do blood, they do fights, lots of stuff. But they also sacrifice, because why not? And they have this kind of, I guess, lava god that lives underground with them. And I drew it out. I wonder if I kept that. Here it is. So, ignore the other frames, they're all bad. By the way, there's an example of an earth type. It's my old art style though, so it's bad. Same art style as this, so it's bad. But, these are weird things. It's supposed to be a love story, but then it changed. Anyways, occasionally the ground will just open up and sacrifice to their lava god or whatever. There's Vincent, he's over there. But And they're all like, yeah, death. Meanwhile, Vincent likes one of the Earth things, although it isn't really relevant because they all die. But, yeah, basically, the one he likes ends up accidentally about to get sacrificed, so he runs over and just kind of jumps across this lava lake onto the other side and ends up catching her, but then... What do you mean, Orsich? I don't know what that means. But, yeah, so he ends up catching her, and the lack of sacrifice to their lava god angers whatever it is. I don't know what it is. I just say lava god because why not? But, yeah, basically angers that thing, causing that thing to blow up the planet. And it's kind of all his fault because he tried to save this other girl that he didn't even really know. He just heard about them and was like, you know what, I'm just gonna save one of these and take it for myself. Because that's just kind of what they did. He didn't really know anything about love. But, yeah, so there is there is that. And so the planet exploded, and somehow, some way, he was the only survivor. I don't understand how yet, but that has to be part of the story. He was the only survivor of his kind. I guess he escaped somehow. I have yet to figure that out. And, so basically, he crash lands here on Earth, and he ends up somewhere in New York, which sounds really random until I explain that, you know, just based off of stories that I've heard, no one in New York... Yeah, he saved her for absolutely nothing and ended up killing everyone except for himself in the process. It's a very pointless story, but, you know, he tried, and he failed on a very large scale. He saved her for nothing and paid the consequences by being the only one left of his kind. So, yeah. That's about it for that part of the story. But then, so yeah, he ends up in New York somehow, crash lands, you know, travels through space. Also haven't figured that out yet. I don't know how far away he is from Earth on his home planet or whatever, but yeah, anyway, but he ends up in New York, and from stories and memes that I've seen, since it's New York and there's so many people in New York, no one really cares about anything. I see videos all the time of people doing weird stuff on, like, trains and subways and stuff, and no one cares. No, everyone's just looking at their phone or their book or whatever, because it's New York, and no one cares. So, you know, if he can walk around the city freely, and everyone thinks he's just a guy in a fursuit, and no one really acknowledges that he exists, so he's like, okay, cool, I can stay here. So he gets himself an apartment with money that he probably stole, and lives in this apartment in New York for his life. Anyways, meets up with whatever other OCs I have that would be on Earth, so probably just Windmaster, but... Oh, hello, Neo. I'm telling Vincent's backstory, and if you don't remember who Vincent is, this is Vincent. So, yeah. Oh wait, I missed a really big part of his backstory, so... Anyways, before he started peacefully living in New York, once he crash landed, you know, there had to be that one person who's like, oh, I found this weird thing that just crashed into Earth, and it wasn't a comet. So, He just kind of ends up in this kind of sciencey place, science lab, and is being tested for existing because no one knows what he is scientifically. But because he is clearly an alien and not a human, scientists are like, okay, let's not put out any articles or anything on this. So no one knows that he exists other than the one guy that found him. But I haven't decided yet, but I would guess that Vincent probably killed that guy. Because although he was a softie, he didn't mind killing people. So yeah, there was that. Plus he had no idea where he was. I mean, can you blame him? You know, 1 second he's, you know, trying to save someone who he thinks he loves, and the next his planet has blown up and he's on a completely different planet. So, you know, yeah, there is that. But yeah, anyway, he ends up at this lab, and lab's like, okay, this thing's kind of weird. So they try and kill him with this toxic gas. What they haven't realized is that he lived his whole life in toxic gas underground on his planet. So whatever they have can't really kill him. But they try to make a robot version of him that just, you know, to fiddle with it and see how it could, you know, just maybe be useful. I haven't figured out why yet, but I know that's a thing I want to happen. Although maybe not, I don't know, but I made some art of it regardless. I have some art somewhere on Autodesk Sketchbook of, yeah, there's old Vincent. Oops. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. But, regardless, I have art somewhere of a robot version of him for no reason. But, yeah. Anyways, there was supposed to be a robot version of him, but now that I say it out loud, I don't know why. So, there's probably not going to be anymore. But, basically, they were going to make a robot version of him. The robot version was going to go rogue at the same time that real Vincent went rogue, and they ended up, or Vincent ended up trying to kill everyone in the science facility, and then the robot tried to kill him for that, and then he destroyed the robot. So the robot probably shouldn't exist, but it looks cool. I don't know, it looks like an interesting Five Nights at Freddy's character. I'm not sure. Anyways, yeah, so anyways, after his whole thing, since no one knew that he existed other than the science facility itself, New York still didn't care that he was there. So that's how he was kind of safe for the rest of his life. Is he just kind of hung out in New York and no one cared that he existed. So he was fine. But yeah, he ends up becoming good friends with Windmaster. If Windmaster is part of that universe, I'm not sure. I don't know if Windmaster, because her backstory is so elaborate, I don't know if she should have a separate universe or not. I feel like it should be necessary. But I also, at the same time, want her to be friends with Vincent just because he's cool. But, yeah, maybe not. That may not be possible. But yeah. Anyways, that's just about it for Vincent's interesting backstory. Accidentally killed his entire species, ended up on Earth, killed some people, and lived in New York. It's a very strange story, that's for sure. But, you know, it's a thing. I've made it, and it's just kind of there now. It might change in the future. Robot probably won't exist because otherwise he dies pretty much immediately. But it's fun to draw a robot version of Vincent. I know that because I have done that, and it's fun. I would find the artwork, but I have a lot of self-portraits drawn as well, and would prefer to not show my face. Oh, no, you're fine. I know it's a weird story. It doesn't make much sense, but, I don't know. The first part seems pretty interesting. Kind of, I don't know, it's still kind of weird. Yeah, I don't know, whatever. If Vincent saw a cat walking around, he'd probably be really scared for a second, but then get along with it really well, because it also has knives for feet. Or at least some cats do. My cat does, but she recently let me clip her toenails while she was half asleep. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, he'd probably be freaked out for a second, and then just be like, "Oh, you're cute." Come to think of it, he'd probably have a cat living with him in his New York apartment. Just because, I don't know. If he was a human, he'd seem like the kind of guy who was, you know, trying to be all rough and tough, but then he's just a big softy. So he has like a cat or something. So that seems right. Anyways, I've done better stories in the past. For instance, Windmaster's story is very long and very elaborate. Oh, here's my cat now. Hello, Simba. Would you like to say hi? Come here. Come here. She walked all the way around my chair, so I had to spin around with her. Hi. Okay, there you go. Thank you for joining. So, yes, that's Simba. She's very talkative, and she meows at me a lot. But yes. So Vincent would be a little scared at first, and then he'd be like, "Ooh, that's a cool thing," and he'd own a cat, because why not? But yeah. So anyways, yeah, Windmaster's backstory is a lot better. I think I'm pretty good at making stories, but his in general I think is supposed to be kind of stupid because he accidentally kills everyone. So that on its own I think is stupid. Ooh, okay, so Wynn's backstory is a lot longer. Well, I mean, if I try to explain it, it's probably going to seem shorter than it really is, because I'm going to summarize it a lot. But, she doesn't have a full backstory, because it's, you know, it's kind of been going as I go. I don't know. I think of it, it's changed a lot, but I've recently come up with, like, a solid backstory for her. Yeah, anyways, so, let's see, where do I begin? I'm still not positive exactly where Windmaster came from. In my first initial backstory of her, she was literally me who just walked through a portal, but that was like years and years ago. You know, walked through this portal in the middle of a forest and suddenly, oh look, I'm a furry. But yeah, that wasn't the best idea. But it's still an interesting way. She had a whole world built out too. As part of that backstory, that little portal would lead to a whole world of furries, basically. But yeah, didn't like that story as I got older. At one point, her kind of demonish side came from another person who had her as like a I don't know. This particular thing was very short. This particular backstory was very short-lived because I hated it from the start. So, yeah, but oh, that's weird. It's growing. I don't like that. Is that gonna be better? Yeah, it's better. I'm just gonna redo the little drips, but anyways, yes, so in one of Windmaster's backstories, the second one, she actually, yeah, she was kind of like someone's pet dog. This sounds really weird, and I didn't like it from the start, but I don't know. She was someone's pet, and that person tried to summon a demon for whatever reason. I don't know. Or being bullied at school or something stupid, and they're like, I want a demon, but then the demon, instead of possessing the child, accidentally possessed the dog, and hence became Windmaster, which was the stupidest backstory I could possibly think of, but it was backstory for like a week, and I was like, nope, I need a new one. So, the new one is the official one, and will probably, you know, stay as a backstory. Hopefully. But, yeah. So this one is, wait, hold on. Yeah. There we go. Yes. So this one, I have no idea where she came from originally. But, she just kind of exists, I guess. I haven't decided if the guardians are going to be like her parents or not. But, I don't know. Yeah, here we go. So I haven't decided that yet. But, they could just be, depending on wherever she came from, they could be her parents or just some random being, I guess. Just some random beings that were like, hey, let's just kind of take this thing. I don't know. I don't know where she came from, but the guardians basically kind of sort of raised her, I guess. So I guess that would make them closer to her parents. And what's funny, most of Windmaster's current backstory is more focused around the Guardians than Windmaster herself, which is strange. But I've noticed that I've done that. But basically the the Gray Guardian killed the White one because he wanted all the power. And then the Windmaster had, because the White one represented good morals, the Windmaster was like, hey, why did you do that? Why did you kill them? And in return kills the Gray one, I guess. I don't know. But basically when the White one died, I guess Windmaster kind of gained that essence and now has the more good side power, as which on my channel has only been seen in my speed paint a little ways down from 2 months ago, called Midnight Lights. That's the good side. So she obtained the blue horns, the all blue eyes, and the little thing on her back, which hasn't been seen anywhere also, but that's there all the time. But everything just kind of glows, and also the wings, although her wings are kind of, an all-time, not all-time, but, they're optional. Wings are optional, so, like, if I were to make a reference sheet, wings are optional. And they can also range in size, just for convenience. But, here, hold on, I'm gonna check this really quick. I feel like I missed something. No, I guess it's weird. Glitch these. This is a weird way of glitching things. This is just how I do it. I mean, I guess it's not too weird. I've seen a few different people do it, but I don't remember where I was in the backstory. But oh wait, did I skip one? Is that what it is? I skipped one. No, I skipped a few of the extra hands. That's why they didn't change. Which means I have to redo this one. How did I miss that? I thought I got it. Apparently not. Okay. That's why it looked weird, because it was standing still. So, yeah, anyways, so, right, that's where I was. So, when the White one died, Wind pretty much inherited that essence, giving her glowy stuff and like more blue highlights. And then since the white one died first, and then after the white one died, the gray one became more powerful, I guess. So then when Wind killed the gray one, it's weird to explain. I'm a picture person, not a words person. But yeah, when Wind killed the gray one out of revenge for killing the white one, because he was already more powerful, she ended up inheriting the uncontrollable kind of bad side that she has. And then also, there's also an optional version of that. So it's uncontrollable at times, but then she learns to control it more, I guess. I'm not sure. It's weird to explain things like this, but let's see how this goes quick. It's I'm gonna get rid of these. There we go. That's perfect. So yes. Anyways, so Wind inherited the uncontrollable bad side, which only comes on occasion in typically inopportune moments, but then she can also control it if she wants to, I guess. I mean, she can kind of summon it, I guess. I don't know. She can summon the bad side if she wants to, but she can summon and get rid of it if she wants to, but only... She can get rid of it if she wants to, but only if she's the one that summoned it. Otherwise, it can also be summoned and desummoned against her will, which makes it partially uncontrollable, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, over time, she learns to control the uncontrollableness of it better. So it happens. She can summon it whenever she wants, rather than it just kind of happening at times. I don't know. It's hard to explain because I haven't written any of this out. I just have all this as little bullet points in my head. But yeah. So because she's the one who killed the gray one, she kind of gets like haunted by it, I guess. So even though she thought the problem was over with, it's still kind of there. Just for a bit though, until she eventually learns to control it. And then yeah. And I haven't really quite decided what happens afterwards, other than her just living her own normal life. I don't know. It sounds weird and complicated, yet simple at the same time. Sounds like a very cliche story, I think. I don't know, but it's a big thing. I've planned out animations in my head that would make it look more interesting than it sounds. I don't know. But yeah. I'm just gonna copy these over. Because I'm lazy. But and then I'm just gonna draw this one twice. See it, but that's about it for Wynn's backstory so far. I haven't exactly worked out everything. Yeah. It's a little strange, but it's a work in progress. But yeah. Partially. I'm a very visual person, though, so my idea of jotting it down would be to just draw the whole thing. This ear is very fat. I don't know. But, yeah, so anyways, but I'm a very visual person. I think in pictures. So unless I go ahead and, make the whole story in drawings or in just an animation, then it kind of wouldn't be put down for me exactly. Although, you're right, no, I mean, notes do help. But I don't know, I'm a visual person. Put this. There we go. Oh, just yeah. Yeah, I mean, here on my screen. So a lot of my backstories are stuff that I constantly think about as well, but I just I just haven't put them down yet. Normally I do. I have the little notes app on my phone or on my iPad here that I write ideas down in. But I don't know. Just haven't gotten to it. I can anytime. I just haven't yet. Yeah. It's true. I have all the old. I have the original story of me just walking through a portal. That one actually has a whole world connected to it. Kind of like I have a world connected to Vincent's story. But that one I have that, which I have sketched out that world a few times, but I haven't like done finished drawing of it. I guess I don't know. Plus, I never really knew if I wanted it to be permanent, which nowadays it isn't, but it may come in later. I'm not sure. It was basically just a set of floating islands that were just kind of in a void, I guess. I don't know. I'm just doing this really. Oh, that last line got weird. That stay on track. Normally I follow my sketches a lot better than this, but these sketches were extremely rough. So I'm just kind of doing whatever, but still following the physics of them, I guess. Mm.